Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series here at Talladega Superspeedway as we get ready for race number 2, the final race of the round of 12 here at Talladega before we set ourselves up for the final push into the playoffs. As you can see right now, currently we have Eddie Morris at the top of the leaderboard, David Hartney, Joseph Wright, Matt Alley. Got a couple drivers here trying to play spoiler tonight. We've got Brian Merle Jr., Brett Merle, Michael Provolt all here tonight. Tim Likens, another non-playoff driver. Kevin Graham, so a few drivers, and Sylvain Seguin here as well. So a bunch of drivers who try to play spoiler here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. And you see Devin Buccino at the top of the leaderboard, highlighted in purple. That means he is locked into the playoffs. Sharon Hill sits back in second. Eddie Morris and David Wright, your top four. At the bottom, though, we see Chuck Balance, Matthew Allen, Trey Spears, Ryan Likens down at the bottom. Ryan Gomes right there, just barely on the outside, or on the inside, right on that bubble. So Joe Wright as well on the bubble. So a couple drivers, as you can see, separated by just a few points. Trey Spears and Ryan Likens only 3 points behind. Well, Trey Spears 3 points behind Ryan Gomes. Ryan Likens tied with Ryan Gomes. So could be interesting here tonight. 1 point separates Ryan and Joe. So the some second on back, pretty close there. You also got Matt Allen that missed the race last week. However, he's in the race here tonight. He's in a must-win situation in order to get himself into the playoffs. Unfortunately, we heard Chuck Balance had some issues with his wheel. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to be making it into the race tonight. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like he'll be moving on to the next round. Right now, we got trucks out on the racetrack doing some drafting, getting things underway. See Ryan Gomes running the high side. Brian Merle Jr., and Sharon Hill down the low side as Provolt comes up to help Gomes to try to get a little bit of drafting help to feel these trucks out in the pack. These trucks are incredibly slow when they're running by themselves, about 167, 168 miles an hour. But when they're in the pack like this, they're going to get up to 180, 185 miles an hour, depending on how many trucks are in line. That is really going to change the dynamic of the race. So we'll be watching for that all night long, especially because we're going to have a pretty good field here tonight. So far, 17 trucks signed up for the race, and we still got about, just under 2 minutes left here in practice, plus 10 minutes of qualifying, so plenty of time for a couple people to sneak in at the last second as we see, Emerald Jr. getting loose there off the corner, catches the, hard into the inside wall. See Ryan Likens and Tim Likens also on the racetrack again. Ryan Likens is in the playoffs, trying to lock himself into the next round. Tim Likens, though, trying to push his son to the front here to get a win and possibly lock himself into the round of 8. So 67 laps will be the distance here tonight. Our stage break will be on lap number 15. Talking with a couple drivers before the race, looks like these drivers can go about 21 laps on a fuel run. So they'll be able to make that first stage without needing to pit. However, they will definitely need to pit at least once to make it to the end of the race. About 30 seconds left here in practice. So while we've got a moment, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching Facebook, YouTube, or Kick. We do appreciate you joining us and tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Also, don't forget to check out our great partners below, including our series sponsor, which is us. It's Intensity Apparel. You can check us out at intensityracing.com for hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs. Atman Weese's Racing Gear is there as well as a couple of the local short track racers in the Virginia area. Plus, if you're a small team looking for some swag yourself, get a quote today over at Intensity Racing Of course, our great partners over at raceapi.com for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceapi.com. And finally, our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-leading line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And now we've got qualifying just about to get underway. You see David Hartney, the first driver out onto the racetrack. Also on the racetrack, Brett Merle, Michael Provolt, Ryan Likens, and Sharon Hill. And you'll see these drivers right up against the outside wall. Trying to get those trucks wound up the best they can. These trucks, if you're not familiar with super speedway racing, these trucks have what's called a restrictor plate, which is a big plate that goes over the throttle body of the trucks, or the carburetor. And what that does is it limits the amount of airflow that gets into the engine, reducing the horsepower. So it can take these trucks about a lap to get up to full speed. As we see Dave Hartney now starting his qualifying attempt. He is almost up to full speed, about 164 miles an hour through the turns. Coming off of turn number 2, going to keep that truck right down on the yellow line. There's two schools of thought. Keep that truck down on the yellow line and run the shortest way around the track, or right down on the yellow line in the corners and right up against the wall on the straightaways. So see a couple different lines being run here tonight. See Joe Wright just rolling off onto the racetrack. As Hartney comes down through the tri-oval to the start-finish line. It's the other unique thing about Talladega Superspeedway is the location of the start-finish line. It is way down going into turn number, or towards turn number 1, just after the tri-oval. So that makes for some exciting racing as well. As we see Joseph Wright out on the racetrack, and Joe's running incredibly slow, not really sure what he is doing. Riley Gomes out on the racetrack as well, getting his qualifying attempt underway. As we see David Hartney down into turn number 3. Brett Merle also making his way down into turns 3 and 4. Brett's going to pull off here and not finish his qualifying attempt. Riley Gomes making his way now off of turn number 4. You see the sun coming out. As Riley Gomes goes up to the top of the leaderboard. David Hartney making his way around. We see Ryan Likens pulling off on the backstretch. And Matt Allen down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Joseph Wright, you see that driver kind of run that higher lane right now, getting his truck wound up. Matt Allen comes down the short chute towards the tri-oval. And down to the stripe, and Matt Allen is going to stay P4. Sometimes these drivers will find the first lap is a little bit quicker than the second lap. As you see Joe Wright staying right down there. Trips up the track a little bit, trying to keep that momentum up off the corner. Don't want to scrub off too much speed. Trying to keep the truck all the way down on the yellow line off the corner. Joseph Wright comes down through the tri-oval to the start-finish line. And Joseph Wright's going to jump up into P2 just behind Riley Gomes. Devin Butchno just making his way off of pit road. Again, Devin Butchno fortunately locked himself in last week, so tonight really doesn't matter for him too much. Trying to get some stage points and some playoff points to carry over to the next round. As Sylvain Seguin makes his way off of turn number 3 and down to the tri-oval. Across the stripe, and Sylvain's going to jump up into the 11th position. Here's Ryan Gomes. His first lap's going to put him up into the 7th spot. And here's your fastest in practice, the 8 of Eddie Morris. Coming down to the stripe, through the tri-oval and to the start-finish line. Eddie Morris jumps up to the pole. Devin Butchno now making his way through the tri-oval, coming to the start-finish line. And Devin's first lap is going to put him up into the 3rd position. Just something here on my end. It's hard to see Devin's name there with that purple wrapper on there, so let's go ahead and we're going to make his name white. There you go. That'll be easier to see Devin's name with that purple wrapper, and that just signifies that he is locked in to the next round. Trey Spears making his way through the tri-oval here. Spears currently in the 6th position. And David Wright moves up into the 4th spot with just one more truck to qualify. And that is the 88 of Kevin Graham. See D. Wright still out there on the racetrack trying to finish up his qualifying attempt. We have just about a minute left in qualifying. That should allow Kevin Graham to get at least one lap in. Lap time's around 55 seconds, so Kevin Graham is only going to be able to get this one lap in here. And that lap didn't even count for time, so it looks like Kevin Graham's going to be starting dead last here tonight. We got about 25 seconds. Don't think Kevin's going to have enough time to lay a lap down, but we'll see. He's almost made his way into turn number 3 with 15 seconds left on the clock. And yes, time will expire before Kevin Graham gets all the way around to take the checkered flag. Their time expires. And that is going to do it here for qualifying. As we get ready to take a look at our starting grid. And just want to get that there. And here we go. And starting on pole tonight is the 8 of Eddie Morris. To his outside, we'll find the 9 of Riley Gomes. Row 2 will be the 68 of Devin Butchino, with D. Wright in the 84 rolling off from the 4th spot. Back in 5th will be Dave's brother Joe in the 82, with David Hartney in the 43 rolling off from the 6th. Trey Spears in the 3 rolls off 7th, with Brett Merle rounding out row number 4. And then Ryan Gomes and Matt Allen will make up your top 10. Tim Likens rolls off from the 11th spot, with Sylvain Seguin back in 12th. 13th, we'll find Brian Merle Jr. and Michael Provolt, both M&M drivers. Sharn Hill rolls off from the 15th position. Ryan Likens back in 16th. And rounding out the field here tonight in 17th spot will be Kevin Graham. And remember, we've got a few drivers here in must-win situations. Take a look again at the points. If you're just joining us, Devin Butchino has locked himself into the playoff. Sharn Hill has just about locked himself in with the start here tonight. Eddie Morris and D. Wright, your top 4. Then Riley Gomes, David Hartney tied for 5th. And then Joseph Wright back in 6th with 136. And then we get to our bubble. Ryan Lakin's barely in, based off of better finishing positions throughout the year. Though he's tied with Ryan Likens for that final spot. Then Trey Spears, Matthew Allen, and Charles Balance. Again, Chucky not able to race tonight due to having some technical issues with his wheel. So Matthew Allen starting back in the 9th spot. He is going to be in a must-win situation here tonight in order to lock himself into the playoffs after missing the race last week. Other driver who feels like they're in a must-win situation, that's the 55 of Ryan Gomes. Ryan definitely needs a good finish here tonight. He's admitted to me that superspeedway racing is not his forte, but he's going to do what he can to get himself up there and try to get a solid finish out of this one here tonight. But everybody's going to be following the Fried Piper here tonight, the 8 of Eddie Morris. A couple super speedway experts in the field, if you would. Eddie Morris, Joe Wright. David Hartney has a shot to winning every time we come to the super speedway. So there's a cheeseburger in the chat. Good to see you, Cheesy. So a couple drivers here who have a good shot to win. And, you know, don't count out some other drivers in the back. Michael Provolt trying to play spoiler. Brian Merle Jr. always runs good at these plate tracks, along with Brett. So somebody outside the championship standings or the playoffs here might come in and steal a win here tonight. So it could be anybody's race as we get ready to drop the green flag. Pace truck taking the hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. And Eddie Morris leading him down all the way through the tri-oval to the exit of the tri-oval where our restart zone is. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing. And a good start for that outside lane. Riley Gomes able to stay door-to-door, side-by-side into turn number 1 with Eddie Morris. So those neon drivers lined up on the bottom. 1, 2, 3 on the bottom, helping each other out. And David Wright, another neon driver, kind of holding that top line back. And his teammates get out in front. He makes their way down the back stretch for the first time, getting those trucks wound up to full speed. Make their way down into turn number 3. That top lane right now falling like a rock. See Matt Allen dive down to the bottom lane, trying to find the momentum there as Devin Butchino jumps up to the high side. Trey Spears moves himself into that 3rd position on the low side. So is Riley Gomes. gets down to the bottom as Devin tries to pick up David Wright. And Joseph Wright going to take a look down to the inside. Eddie Morris moving up to the high side. It's going to allow Joe to take the over the lead. Down to the back make their way down to the start-finish line. Down on the low side. Getting a big shove here from Trey Spears as they come down across the stripe. And now Joe's going to dive down to the bottom. He got pushed out of line, up at the front. As David Wright now takes over the lead. With a big shove here from David Hartney, you see Riley Gomes trying to push Trey Spears, their teammates, on Wednesday nights. But tonight, Riley part of trackside as they come down across the stripe, and David Wright is going to lead lap number 3. David Hartney dive down to the bottom in front of Trey Spears. Now David Hartney's going to jump out down to the inside. That's our 4th lead change of the race. Looks like Neon trying to get their bonus points in early tonight by allowing everybody to lead a lap. Down to the stripe, and he's kind of hard charging David Wright up on the high side. We're being pushed by Brett Merle. Look at Sylvan Swin. So hanging up on the high side, trying to get things moving along as well as we start lap number 5. Just 10 laps left in the stage. David Hartney's going to dive down to the bottom. That's going to allow Trey Spears to get out in front. Jones trying to give that 3 truck a good shove here down through the travels. Trey going to be able to lead a lap here to get a bonus point, try to help himself get into the next round. He will. 5 different leaders so far as we work lap number 6. Right now, back up on the high side. He's going to take the lead back over from Trey Spears as Brett Merle now up on that high side, trying to get a push here from Sylvan. Move himself up to the front, but right now that top lane only has 3 trucks working together, and they're falling backwards. They do not have the edges. Now Riley Gomes going to jump up to the high side. He's going to try to get a lap led here as he runs side by side with Trey Spears. Off of turn through the trial, I should say. David Wright going to lead that lap, but just barely, as Riley Gomes gets a big shove here from the 11. Now 5 trucks lined up on that high side. Riley Gomes, Brett Merle, Tim Likens, and Brian Merle Jr. up there. As we see Darren Butchner, Joe Wright, way in the back of the field. Looks like Michael Provo has retired from the race. Not sure what happened to Provo as Riley Gomes takes over the top spot. down in front of David Wright as they come off of turn number 4. Jones now takes over command of the race, but he's got Brett Merle up there on the high side trying to take that position away. Brett gets a big shove from Sylvain down the backstretch into turn number 3. Riley going to take that position back. Fighting back though on that high side, but Riley just going to lead the lap there. We work lap number 9 on the first heat Big 15. So far since the drop of the green flag, we already have 11 lead changes among 6 different drivers. Works down into turn number 3. So a couple drivers trying to stay out of trouble in the back. Devin Butchno, Eddie Morris, Sean Hill, Joseph Wright, David Hartney, although Joseph Wright now working up the high side, trying to work his way back into the mix here, trying to get some stage points. Riley Jones continues to hold on for the lead as they make their way down into turn number 1. Racing already in the opening stage of this race. You see Brian Merle Jr. now trying to force it up there 3 wide. He's got a little push from Ryan Lakins up there. David Hartney trying to switch lanes back there as well as he got a 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Junior though, no help right now. It looks like I don't think Michael Provolt has looks like Michael Coleman may have some connection issues, and that's why he is out of the race. As now Brett jumps up to that 3rd lane up in front. We got 3 trucks lined up nose to tail up on that high side. So Michael Coleman down the line, letting the field go by. Contact there between Joe Wright and Brian Merle Jr. Almost had a wreck. They're able to keep it going forward as Ryan Lakins got shuffled out of line. He's going to fall all the way to the rear of the field. As Brett Merle, Ryan Merle Jr. and Joseph Wright work that high lane to try to steal the stage win away from Riley Gomes. And right now Riley has David Wright all over that back bumper as they come across the front. Riley's going to keep the lead for now, as Brett Merle now takes the lead over turn number 1. High lane starting to come alive here in the late going of the stage as Joe Wright kind of unable to wide for a second. Stays tucked in behind Junior, and now that high lane starting to have more trucks. That's going to have the energy in the backstretch. And into turn number 3. Oh, Brett almost just got turned off the front bumper. Brett Merle Jr. had to check out of it. That's going to check up that entire top lane. Now Eddie Morris, Devin Butchno make a 3rd lane up on the high side. They come across through the triangle into the start-finish line. 3 wide racing, middle of the pack. Michael Provolt, a couple laps out. He's going to join them up there as Brian Merle Jr. continues to try to push his brother forward to get the stage win. We have 2 laps left in the stage. Joseph right now going to pull out of line. He's going to try to his Neon teammates. It's going to allow Ryan Gomes in the trackside machine to get into that middle lane as Riley Gomes and Brett Merle go side by side into turn number 3. Now that middle lane starting to lose a little bit of energy, lose the momentum as they come through turns 3 and 4, putting Riley Gomes back out in front with a big shove from David Wright down the short chute into the tri-oval. Three-wide racing continues, almost a four-wide racing in the middle of the pack there. As Joseph Wright now leading that high lane, Brett Merle does indeed get the lead that time, and he's going to get his lap led. As they come off of turn number 2, 3 wide, down the backstretch they come. Riley Gomes on the bottom, Brett Merle in the middle, Joseph Wright on the high side. Joe taking over the lead here as they come down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Team Neon all lined up on that top lane, minus David Wright, who's shoving the 9 of Riley Gomes, who's now taking the lead back over as Brett Merle falls back in that sucker hole. Down through the short chute, now Joseph Wright going to tuck into that middle lane. He's going to take over the lead as they come down through the tri-oval and to the stripe. Joseph Wright takes the lead away as they come across the stripe to start the final lap of the stage. Joseph Wright on the bottom, Eddie Morris up on the high side. Right in the middle, getting a shove here from Brian Merle Jr., Ryan Gomes. Here comes Tim Lanker. Ryan Lanker's up as Joseph Wright jumps up to the middle of the now they're going to go 4 wide as they come down the backstretch, back to 3 wide. As Eddie Morris takes over the lead into turn number 3. Devin Butcher dives down to the bottom. As they come through turns 3 and 4 for the final time of the stage. 3-wide racing in the back. Single file up front. One last shot to try to get the stage winners. David Hardy going to jump out of line here? No, he's going to stay in line. And as they come across the stripe, Eddie Morris is going to be your stage winner. I am so wrong. We are racing the lap number 20. Looked over at the schedule there. For some reason, I thought it was not number 15. I'm all excited over here. I'm pulling Dustin Dean, pulling a 5 laps early. So David Wright now back out in front with a shove here from Joseph Wright. Brett Merle now into that 3rd spot as Eddie Morris sits back in 3rd. All 5 Neon drivers lined up on that bottom lane. I know that would have been wild, Junior. Like I said, for some reason, Cheeseburger, for some reason I thought there was lap 15 was the stage. Not sure why I did that. David right now taking the lead back over as we come down the backstretch. Brett Merle from the 9 of Riley Gomes. It happens. I pulled a reverse Mark Martin. You know, I wasn't in the car when it happened. Now we got 3-wide racing yet again as Brian Merle Jr. jumps up to the high side with Ryan Gomes. See if Sharon Hill and Sylvain Seguin jump up to the high side with her. If Michael Provo, a couple laps down, tries to move up there. Now we see Matt Allen jump up to the high lane. They come down into the backstretch. Ryan Gomes gets shoved way out of line. He's going to fall all the way back to the tail of the field. Now Brett Merle trying to take the lead back away from David Wright. They make their way off of turn number 4 down to the short chute. You see Joe Wright getting right there to the back bumper. Now Joe's going to jump up to the high side. He's going to try to take that lead back away. As they come through the tri-oval. Joseph Wright going to get another lap led here. As Brett Merle pushes that 82 machine. Down the backstretch, the field comes back to 3 wide in the middle of the back. Up to that high side, trying to get something going. See if he's going to jump up into that 3rd lane. See if he can pull him along. Trey Spears thought about making a move up to the high side. Did not have the momentum or the free spot, the real estate to move up there. So coming down the short chute. And to the stripe. David Wright leads that lap by just a hair as we come to the last lap of the stage. This is the last lap of the stage for sure. As now we see tight 3 wide racing all the way through the field. Up on that high side. He's got Sharon Hill giving him a shove here. Up there on the high side. Brian Merle Jr. up there as well. Down the backstretch for the final time in the stage. Joseph Wright, David Wright, side by side, door to door, right. The bottom lane gets the momentum. A little side draft there between Joe Wright and Eddie Morris. That's going to speed up that high lane. And they come down to the stripe, down on the low side. Who's it going to be? Side drafting to the line and across the stripe. 3 wide finish. David Wright gets the stage win. Joseph Wright comes in 2nd. Eddie Morris back in 3rd. Brett Merle and Riley Gomes round out your top 5. David Hardy, Brian Merle Jr., Matt Allen, Tim Likens, and Kevin Graham, the top 10 of the stage. So it did end up being a wild stage finish. But your winner of the stage here is the 84 of David Wright. So far, I've counted 22 lead changes among 7 drivers in the first 20 laps of this race. So if that's a sign of what's to come, we might have ourselves an incredible finish to this race. As they are sitting here waiting for the pace car to come around. There's the pace truck. Picks up David Wright as they make their way down to pit road. Hits his pit stall. Who is going to be the first one off of pit road? Four tires and fuel for everybody. As David Wright rolls off pit road first, Eddie Morris second, Joe Wright third, David Hartney fourth, Riley Gomes fifth, Evan Butcher sixth, Brett Merle, Kevin Graham, Brian Merle Jr., Trey Spears, Matt Allen, Tim Likens, Sharon Hill, Sylvain Seguin, Ryan Gomes and Ryan Likens come off pit road last. And let's get a word in with our stage winner here. Hey Dave, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Joshy. What's up, man?
Man, congratulations on the stage win. What a wild first stage. Is that a sign of things to come here as we've got quite a long ways back to the finish of this one?
Yeah, it was really, really good racing, really respectful. Nothing, nobody doing anything crazy except for Devin and their 3-wide move there. But all worked out, Disappointed that I didn't get the pole, but congratulations to Eddie. Glad he did. And yeah, I hope the rest of the race goes really, really good. We'll see here.
Yeah,
it's been clean still.
Yeah, so far 22 lead changes among 7 drivers. That's pretty incredible in the first 20 laps of this race. So What's going to be the strategy here? Are we going to be seeing Team Neon drop back in the back again, or are you guys going to try to stay up there to try to close this one out?
Well, Josh, you've seen who won the stage, and you know by running speedways where the position that we like to be in, and you've seen where I was running most of that stage, so you know where I'm going to try to be.
Got it. Hey, that's usually the safest place to be, so... Well, it looks like everybody's coming in to top off, and you missed the memo, so I apologize for that.
No worries, buddy. No worries.
How was the fuel on that run? I know they were saying something around 21, 25 laps is the fuel run. Is that about accurate, or can you go a little bit further than that, you think?
That's pretty accurate, man. That's pretty accurate. So I don't know that we'll go green the whole way, but we'll see.
Well, sorry you missed your pit stop there, but good luck the rest of the way out, and hopefully we'll talk to you again at the end.
Appreciate you, dude.
Have a great night. So as your stage winner, David Wright, unfortunately missing the strategy as the entire field came down pit road to, most of the field, I should say, came down pit road to top off. Looks like it's going to be 6th on back, came down and topped off. So not everybody, there's still about 5 or 6 trucks out on the racetrack who did not top off. That does save a little bit of fuel, especially for that final pit stop, but you know, if we have a yellow or if we continue green the whole way, depending on where you're at, that might be what makes the difference here. Of course, being out in front or running up on that high lane, those are 2 things that are going to burn more fuel. When you kind of tuck back in the rear of the field, kind of hang out back there, it gives you an opportunity to save a little bit more fuel. But the lights are off. I think the lights are off on the pace truck. They are, so we're going to be going back at green flag racing this time by. Pace truck takes that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Dan Wright's going to have to lead him all the way back down. To the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing in that top 4. Get a great jump. So basic win. Like he was caught napping a little bit. There's a bit of a gap there between the 4th and 5th place trucks. As now Brian Merle Jr. up on that high side. He's trying to take the lead away. Once again, a lap lead here as they come down the backstretch. Big shove here from Tim Likens. Trucks jumping up to that high side. We see Matt Allen, Kevin Graham, as Brian Merle Jr. is going to take over the lead. We are 8th different leader of the race. Back. We see that top lane getting a little more organized. Matt Allen now shoving Tim Likens. Now a little further back. We've got Ryan Likens, Kevin Graham, Sharon Hill, and Michael Bogle up on that high lane. And Bogle being 5 laps down. You can actually help play spoiler by pushing one of the other drivers up to the win. Especially if it's a driver like Brian Merle Jr. or Brett Merle, one of these drivers that do not have anything to lose. Brian Merle Jr. comes across the stretch. He'll use his 2nd lap of the race, but don't look down. Tim Likens up on that high side. You see. I'm going to get a strike on YouTube for saying that. But, I'm going to change what it was here, guys. This makes him happier than Britney Spears with a shaved head. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Boogie, boogie. So here we go now. Tim Likens taking over the lead here on the high side, away from Brian Merle for a second. But Brian gets that spot back. Matt Allen with the big shove on the 14 down into the trioval. And down across the stripe, and that's going to make Tim Likens our 9th different leader of the race. Takes the lead back away, going down into turn number 1. Tim Likens gets the momentum up on the high side. Big shove again from Matt Allen down into turn number 3. And Matt Allen, again, in a must-win situation. He needs to win here tonight in order to advance to the next round of the playoffs. Come down across the stripe. Brian Merle Jr. is going to lead that lap by just a nose. So these drivers are probably going to have to make their way down pit road at least 2 laps. The fuel run is about 21 laps. We went back green flag racing on lap 24. Which means these drivers will be coming down on lap 45. And then again on lap 66 out of a 67 lap race. So they're going to have to do a little bit of saving here in order to get themselves to the end. As you see Tim Likens falling to the rear. Now Matt Allen trying to be the 10th different leader of the race. It's Kevin Graham giving a big shove to the 127. And Michael Provo 5 laps down, sits in that 3rd lane up on the high side, trying to move back to the lead. Down into turn number 3, Matt Allen solidly out in front of Brian Merle Jr. Kevin Graham going to try to dive down and take the lead away, or is now able to pull that 88 to the front as they come down across the stripe. And Matt Allen will indeed be the 10th different leader of the race as Brian Merle Jr. tries to take that top spot back away from Matt Allen down into turn number 1. Wright did exactly what he said he was going to do. He's going to stay up at the front. Meanwhile, his Neon teammates, Joe Wright, Dave Hartney, Devin Butchino, all hanging out in the back of the field as Michael Kovold has to jump out of line. He's going to pull that momentum up on the high side. Now Trey Spear is going to jump up to the high lane. Trying to get a shove here from Matt Allen and try to put himself back into the lead. Just tuning in, all the drivers that are highlighted in green on the tower, those are drivers who are in the playoffs. This is the final round, or final race of the round of 12. Tonight we will be eliminating 4 drivers from contention. Trey Spears takes over the lead of the race. Trey is in one of those playoff spots. Of course, you have Devin Butchino highlighted in purple. He is locked in to the next round. side. And he's trying to place earlier here tonight, trying to get his second career SCSRA victory as he's going to pull down to the inside. Right, take control of that bottom lane. Now Trey Spears jumps back down to the bottom. He's going to retake the lead as Matt Allen tries to work that high lane. And he's got very little help up there. The only help he has is in the form of the 88 of Kevin Graham. And Tim Lake is up to the high side trying to lend a hand as they come through the tri-oval. Starting to get a little bit more organized. You see Sean Hill and Ryan Lake is up there as well. Matt Allen does indeed take over the lead yet again, going down in the turn number 3. And Trey Spears going back and forth for the lead. Still trying to pull that 88 along with him. Trey Spears has a great shove from behind in the form of David Wright. We talked about fuel. We've got drivers kind of hanging out like what's happening out here. To save as much fuel as they can as now Kevin Graham and Matt Allen make their way up to the front of the field to put Matt Allen solidly up into the lead. We have hit the halfway point of the race. Start lap 35. We've had 40 lead changes among 10 drivers already in this race. We are just at the halfway point. We'll start to get single file. Tim Lakins trapped up on that high side all by himself. He's going to start dropping back like a rock with no help on that high lane. David Wright getting out of line now. He's going to fall back to the back of the pack, fall back with his teammates. He's got a hole there to get down. He's going to stay up on that high side and being up there by himself, running a higher lane. Means he's running longer around the racetrack than everybody else. It also means that he's burning more fuel, pushing all that air. Now we're starting to see the strategy play out. Our top group, last time by, Matt Allen ran a 52.47. Now he's got the second group back here in the rear. Last time by, they ran a 53.85, so more than a second slower than your leader. Let's see how that plays across the line this time. That time by, everybody ran a much more similar lap time. Maybe that rear group was trying to save a little bit more fuel, but again, fuel saving is going to be the answer. These drivers can only go about 21 to 25 laps on fuel depending on where they are in the draft. They will have to stop 2 more times. It just depends on when they come down. I imagine, my estimation is they're going to be coming down pit road somewhere between laps 40 and 45. strung out single file. Well, we go from our longest track on the season, Bristol Motor Speedway, or sorry, Talladega Superspeedway, to next week we go to one of our shortest tracks on the schedule as we move on to Bristol and Kansas for the round of 8. And finally move on to Las Vegas for the final race of the season. Ryan Likens, one of the drivers trying to lock himself in here. A great run up into the 5th position. God says if you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. Ain't that the truth? Especially here at Talladega. You want to be as close to the cars around you. Pop that playoff picture back up on the screen for you. You can see Matt Allen again in a must-win situation here tonight. On the Trace Seies, and Ryan Likens is right there on the bubble. He needs to finish ahead of Ryan Jones. Had a good run. Ryan Jones sits back in the Sean Hill basically locked in for the next round. Eddie Morris locked in. Did right after the win the stage. He's pretty much locked in. So the real battle here is between Riley Jones on the map to Matt Allen, Chuck Balance, not racing the last 2 races. Has been eliminated from the playoffs. But as we speak, everybody's still trying to stay single file, trying to save some fuel. And lap times have dropped off quite a bit. Last time the field ran a 53 to 54. So 53.9 to 54.1 was the field. As they're going a little bit slower, that's going to increase what I felt the pit road. I would expect the drivers come down around lap 47 to 49 for pit stops. Still with one more stop to make it to the end. Could try to split this in half as well, as we have 25 laps to go. Some drivers might try to split it. And next time live, we see Sean Hill jumping up to the high side. Trey Spears jumping up to the high side. Moving up high. That signifies, I believe, a couple drivers are probably pitting here. As we go 3 wide, Sean Hill and Brett Pearl up to the high side. Does anybody come down pit road this time? Looks like no nobody coming down pit road this time, so Sean Hill trying to get himself up there to lead a lap. He does not let a lap white team get that bonus point. Trey Spears stuck in the second lap in the middle. Now Kevin Graham thought about moving up there. He was going to block that middle lane. There's a wind now. Thought about making a move underneath. As Sean Hill takes over the lead here. And a big shot from Matt Allen. Matt Allen almost got down underneath the 05. As Brett Merle has other plans trying to take the lead back away up on the high side. He will. Sean going to be able to get this lap led or not? He is not going to get the lap led. He took over the lead but did not lead the lap. So no bonus points so far for Sean. But still 23 laps to go in the event. And if they can get to lap 20 to go here, then they'll be good on gas. They only have to make that one stop. Michael Provo tries to take the lead away. Sorry, tries to get a lap back here the old-fashioned way with a big shove from the 13 of Brian Merle Jr. And now Brian Merle Jr. takes over the lead. He's going to dive down to the bottom with Trey Spears. That's going to put Michael Provo down just 4 laps down. As the field goes back to single file. Crunching numbers, trying to figure out when these drivers are going to come. As Brett Merle jumps up to the high side by himself, and now we see the Gomez brothers working up to that high side, pulling David Wright and the rest of the team along as well. And drivers making their way down on the pit road. Trey Spears, Sean Hill, Matt Allen, Kevin Graham, Tim and Ryan Likens, as well as Sylvan Seguin down on the pit road. Everybody looks like they got down cleanly. Put our pit lane tracker down on the bottom. The way that works is you'll see the first 3 letters of the driver's names. And it's flashing pit, that means they're on their way to their pit box. When it no longer is, or when it's solid pit, that means that they're in their pit stall. And the time it means that they have left their pit stall. As here comes more drivers, looks like the rest of the field down on the pit road. A couple drivers locking up tires, but it looks like everybody gets down on the pit road cleanly. That 3 wide back there trying to get down to your pit stall is not what you want. As Riley Gomes is going to go all the way down to the front. He's got the second pit stall ahead of Eddie Morris. It's going to be all about how well do these drivers get back off the pit road together. See the field rolling off the pit road together as this group of trucks is back up to full speed. How much of an advantage are they going to have coming back to this group? Sean Hill pulls out a line. The best thing these drivers could do is try to get nose to tail so they can catch up. As you see that they are now formed up, while the second group back here definitely much more broken up. See David Wright and Brett Merle nose to tail, but then the rest of the field pretty broken up onto that. That should allow Trey Spears and this group to catch back up to the pack. But David Wright out in front. So the rest of the field starting to race back here, and them being side by side is exactly what D. Wright and Brett Will want to see. But they are catching these two trucks pretty quickly. He's going to have the best run here because Kovolt and Junior are going to have to check up on that low line. That top lane will not have to. And Riley Gomes gets the big shove here from Joseph Wright. He's going to take the lead back over. Now Joe Wright's going to tuck up in front of his teammate David Hartley. Hartley's going to give him a big shove down the short street towards the tri-oval. Joe Wright takes the lead now. David Wright's going to jump down to the bottom lane. Riley Gomes gets stuck up on the high side as Sylvain Seguin got some issues on pit road. He's about to go lap down as the field comes by the 66. So the field pretty much caught back up. However, this second group, led by Matt Allen, currently almost 6 seconds behind the rest of the field with 18 laps to go. And you can see Eddie Morris as they come across the stripe. We'll see if that back lane is catching it all. No, they are losing a little bit of time or staying stationary, so Riley Gomes up on the high side trying to retake the lead from Joseph Wright. Side-by-side battle, door-to-door through turns 3 and 4. For the lead as we are coming to 16 laps to go. Riley Gomes up there in the neon sandwich. This guy's brother Ryan Gomes back there as well. And bearing a caution, it looks like the couple of drivers we know will be eliminated will be Ryan Likens, Trey Spears, and Matt Allen. It's going to be all about where Riley Gomes finishes. Sorry, Ryan Gomes finishes here. Let's see if we can try to figure out some points here before the night is over. These cars have full tanks of fuel. They're able to make it to the end without having to stop again, so it is going to be green flag racing to the end of the race. Riley Gomes retakes the lead there and down into turn number 1. Michael Lawrence says he thinks he sees debris. On that last row, moving forward, and yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. That back group there, led by Matt Allen, is now 7 seconds behind the pack. And the gap continues to grow. Last time by, Matt Allen ran a 50.98. Leader ran as well, so Eddie Morris. Issues for Eddie Morris. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he had his headset went out or his wheel went out or something, but he is down on the apron. We stay green. That is going to shake things up tremendously here. lead still shaping up here as Joseph Wright and Riley Gomes continue to run side by side, and then teammates. Joe's teammate pushing him, but he's got Devin Bushnell, his other teammate, up on the high side pushing Riley Gomes. Here comes David Wright up into the mix as well. Continues to go back and forth between Joe Wright and Riley Gomes. Momentum there up on their high side. Joseph Wright continues to hold on to the lead. Riley Gomes continues to try to take it away. Riley Gomes retakes the lead into turn number 3, and apologize for the radio silence. Trying to figure out the points here so we can see if we can have an answer for you at the end of the night. We missed it. Coming up on the lap truck of Eddie Morris. The battle continues to go on here for this lead. Neither driver really trying to get it up right now. As they come around the lap truck of Tim Likens. Finishing up the points here. So Riley Gomes retakes the lead up on the high side, but Joe Wright takes it right back away. We have 8 laps to go here. caution we've had here tonight was for the stage as Ryan Likens goes a lap down here. He's watching his championship hopes go down the drain. Joe Wright out there, big push out in front from David Hartley. Back up on that high side. Trying to take that lead back away from Wilson. Joe Wright still getting that shove from the 43, his brother, right there on the back bumper. Third lane forming up there with Brett Merle, Ryan Merle Jr. and Michael Little trying to play spoiler here tonight. Three wide, coming to 5 laps to go. Issues for Kevin Graham. He is slowed down on the inside. We stay green. But Kevin Graham had some issues here. Let's see if we can see what happened. And it looks like some pushing gone wrong here in the back of the field. So, well out or behind the lead pack. So we stay green. With Joseph Wright out in front. Down the pit road. Field making their way across the stripe, 3 wide with 4 laps to go. Matt Allen just coming off the pit road. Unfortunately, his playoff dreams are crushed as well. The race is under challenge up on that third lane from Brett Merle, who was just there. Now he falls back a little bit. Side by side between Riley Gomes and Joseph Wright as they come down through the tri-oval. Riley Gomes taking the lead away solidly with just 3 laps to go. Riley is in a win, and he's in spot tonight, even though he said 5th in points. Looks like he'll be able to make it in either way. To play spoiler here. I am mathing like a madman. You ain't kidding about that. As Brett Merle takes over the lead for a second, and Riley Gomes gets turned. They wreck Brian Merle Jr. up in the fence. The whole field has crashed. We stay green. Brett Merle is in the lead. David Wright in second. We stay green. Oh, David Wright has some help in the front and behind. Brett Merle does not. Brett Merle's going to be a sitting duck here as they come down across there. This changes everything. As Brett Merle gets passed here by David Wright. Eddie Morris not on the lead lap, so, well, now he is on the lead lap. As the white flag will fly, we'll have just one more lap to go. How that stays green, cheesy, I have no idea. Two-car battle up here at the front. Sylvan Seguin jumps out of the line. That's going to allow Brett Merle to get a run here on David Wright. As we're coming up on the lap cars, the slower cars, will they stay out of the way or will they be better with this? As Brett Merle is right there on the back bumper of David Wright. One more chance for Merle as they come off of turn number 4. Merle's going to stay tucked in behind. Is he going to try to make a move here to the stripe? No, he's not. And David Wright is going to be your winner here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. Winning and locking himself in to the playoffs. Get everybody around. Let's see if we can see what happened that brought out that caution, or didn't bring out that caution. Well, it all starts with a bad bump on Joseph Wright. Oh, no, it was a bad bump on Riley Gomes that sent him down the track. And then Joe Wright comes up, collects Junior Devin Buccino. See the 55 of Ryan Gomes get caught up. Riley Gomes, David Hartney. The rest of the field all caught up in this one. And everybody stayed going straight. Nobody spun around. And that is why the caution never came out. So, David Wright going to come down to the stripe. He's going to celebrate his victory, and while he gets his victory underway, I'm going to crunch some numbers here. While he finishes up his celebration here, let's take a look at the final results. And David Wright gets the win here tonight. Brett Merle comes home in second. Riley Gomes, Trey Spears, and Sharn Hill round out your top 5. Devin Buccino, who is locked in already, comes home 6th. Ryan Gomes back in 7th. Brian Merle Jr. back in 8th, Eddie Morris 9th, and David Hartney in the 10th spot. Sylvain Seguin back in 11th, Matt Allen back in 12th, Tim Likens 13th, Joseph Wright 14th, Kevin Graham, Ryan Likens, and Michael Provolt round out the field here as we get ready to talk to our top 3. in that wild finish there. And we'll start with, it doesn't look like Riley is in the booth just yet, so we'll wait a second for him. And while we do, we'll get our camera all set up here for interviews. A wild finish. You're right, Cheeseburger. That was 100% a wild finish. As still over here trying to crunch some numbers. So let's talk to our third place finisher, Riley Gomes. Riley, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Josh, I got you. What's up?
Man, congratulations on the third place finish here tonight. That is going to advance you to the next round of the playoffs. I mean, a wild finish, not the way we wanted this one to finish out, but talk us through those last few laps.
Yeah, not at all. I was telling Ryan there as we were riding, I was like, I just want to survive and advance to next week. If somebody makes a run here at the end, I'm not blocking them. I'm not doing anything like that. I want to just finish this race where we finish it. And then we had, I think it was Hartney and Joe Wright maybe, or D Wright went by me early on, and I made the same mistake I made in the Clash All-Star race last year, where I went to get the run with them, and then they ducked right back down, and I was stuck on the outside. So it was fun. I mean, it is tough when you got that many teammates right there, but at the same time, it kind of makes it interesting as far as like, who can we go with and where can we put people where we want them. And I don't know, not the way we wanted to end that one, but it was fun while it lasted.
Well, the big question is did you indeed get yourself a 0x through that last wreck?
No, 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 no. I spun down to the bottom when I got turned there in four. I think it was just maybe a misjudgment of where that front end was. Um, got turned down into the grass, and I probably stupidly tried to save it faster than I could have. I just, a couple laps left. You want to keep your momentum up and stay in that draft. So the back end started kicking around. And I was kind of trying to almost dirt track it along the apron there. I think the rear tires caught the actual banking of the track, and as soon as it did that, my wheel was right trying to save it there. And as soon as it caught that banking, she just snapped right up the track, and I think I killed a few more people there. So realistically, that third place shouldn't be a third place. I think I killed more people than anything there. So I apologize to all the people I got caught up with after I brought it back up the track.
Well, talk us through your strategy. I know you and Ryan were talking strategy throughout the race, kind of hanging in the back for a portion of the race, and then moving yourself back up to the front. Talk us through what you were able to do with your teammate there to try to lock yourself in here tonight.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out who we were going to go with. Early on, I mean, Brian was absolutely pushing Brett towards the front. I mean, pushing him. I was like, those boys are going to be quick coming out of the pits. So let's try to figure out when they're coming. And I think there at the end, it was just a matter of basically coming at the last stop we could. And then next thing I know, Neon's coming down. I think D-Wright was coming down off the top, and I wasn't really expecting him. So we were pretty tight going down there. But I don't know what happened behind me, but it felt like we all got on and got off pretty good. So that was pretty cool with the amount of cars that we had come there and not really have any issues.
Well, awesome run for you here tonight, man. Um, great finish for you to pretty much lock yourself. I believe you're locked into the next round. So before we let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Thank Ryan. Throughout that whole thing, he's kind of the person that's trying to come up with some strategy, try to figure out what we do. Obviously, thanks to you, thanks to Intensity Broadcasting, you guys do an awesome job. Love racing with you, Josh, but you do a phenomenal job up in the booth. There's not a lot of people that do it. If you can imagine my voice broadcasting, wouldn't work out. You have an excellent voice, and like you're designed to do it, man. So heck of a job for
I've
you.
also been told I have a great face for radio, so it works out.
No, I wouldn't say that, man. I'd say great voice for radio, that's for sure. So thanks to you, thanks for everybody in the league. Quite a few cars tonight, so that was fun. Keeps it interesting, especially when those points are at play. So be cool if a few more boys make it to Bristol next week and really shake up that point standing. And I think that'll just be a survive till the end type of race. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, awesome job again tonight, man. Congratulations on the run. Hopefully you make it in, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow, Josh.
Have a great night.
Have a good one. Bye.
That was your third place finisher, Riley Gomes. Let's bring in your second place finisher here tonight. I thought I saw Brett in there, but it looks like Brett. Hang on 1 second while we try to figure this one out. All right. Well, it looks like Brett Merle wasn't feeling very well, but we've got his brother, partner in crime, crew chief, and spotter for him here tonight. Brian Merle Jr. Brian, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
I know you had a pretty good run here. You two trying to play spoiler, led a couple laps here tonight, and trying to push your brother to the win. And then all of that heck broke loose right there. And I think you were caught up right in the middle of it. Talk us through that and what your brother and you were trying to do to get the win here tonight.
Well, you called it last week that we'd show up because it's an anybody kind of race, and you're not wrong. This track produces some awesome racing, and we just wanted to, have a good time, run a bunch of laps. Didn't really care about leading laps, although obviously being the lead car is pretty friggin' sweet. We just our goal was to win. I mean, we were trophy hunting, and we had a good strategy. We had a great pit stop. We got linked up. Our whole team was, there was 3 of us. Provolt went out kind of early with a computer issue, but he came back and he still played, teammate. And we talked about it, and we figured with about 5 to go, we were going to make it 3 wide if nobody else did. And it's just so hard to generate a run when you're 3 guys versus 4 or 5 on each other lane. And I was pushing him as hard as I could. We finally had a good run going. And I was just flat out of power. I'd been blinking for a couple laps, and looked like Joe and Riley got into it there. And next thing I seen was Joe in my door, and I rode the catch fence. Wondering where our caution is still. I don't understand how 10 plus cars can wreck. One car can be backwards on, I would call that the start of the front straightaway, and no caution come out. But, hats off to everybody. We had a great race. It's just unfortunate that I couldn't bring the 13 home in, on the podium at least, or anything, because I felt like we were at least a top 3 car. As far as my brother, I think he owed or I owed David a favor, and I think Brett, really wanted to cash that favor for me. So I took David right here out in a must-win situation by accident, pushing him a couple seasons ago, and so it was cool to see old D-Right get the win there.
Well, awesome job here tonight for all of Team M&M. And before I let you go, Brian, anyone thank you, shout you I give here tonight?
Oh, I just shout you guys out, and all 17 people that showed up ran really good. Obviously, a couple people get singled out, and you get some lappers, but I mean, how cool is it to go 67 laps with no cause for caution, no caution for cause, and just a stage caution, green flag pit stops. I mean, we were 3 wide getting in there, 4 wide into the pit lane, and that was just some wild racing. That's just so much fun when 15 to 17 or even more guys could actually do that and hold it 3 wide for 60 laps. You can't beat that kind of racing. So yeah, thanks to those guys. Thanks to the admins. My brother would probably not thank me, but so I'm going to thank myself for pushing him for the majority of the race. I want to personally thank my teammates for working hard, and I was running low on fuel there in that second stage, and they figured out a way to get by me and help drag me around so I can make that final pit stop. So thanks to those guys. Thanks to my girlfriend, my brother's wife, both them for letting us do it. We got we got some teething babies, so they're both kind of sick and fussy right now. So got to thank them for being a support system. Yeah, and I think it's trackside, the Gomes brothers. They worked well with us all night. Obviously, Joe and David, I worked with them a lot tonight, so they were great guys to work with. So thanks to those guys too.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the good run here tonight, and good luck tomorrow night.
All right, thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
So as your second place finisher, Brett Merle's brother, Brian Merle Jr. Let's bring in your winner here tonight. driver of the 12 machine, David Wright, or 84 machine, excuse me, David Wright. David, you got Joshua in the booth. You got a copy?
This ain't no RFB, I'll tell you that.
I know, man. I'm all over the place. So I looked at your name right there, and you got the 12 next to your name in the on the Discord. So that's what screwed me up for a second. I wasn't looking up at the screen, but man, win the stage, take the max points away from everybody else, and then win the race to lock yourself in to the round of 8. What a race for you! Talk us through it, especially that last lap there and all the chaos that ensued.
I'll be honest, I didn't see what happened. I was riding behind Hartney, who was behind Joe. I seen Gomes come down in the 9 there, and it looked like he got clear. And then I don't know if Joe just gave him a bad bump in the corner or what happened. He got out of whack. And then I got, door slammed a little bit, but it kept me out of that pile up, thankful enough, and down on the apron. And then it was just me and following one of my teammates who was a lap down for the last lap there. Easily were able to clear Brett, and Brett was gracious enough as a non-playoff contender as we came around. So it was not the way I like to win them, but I'll tell you what, you take them any way you can get them in this league for sure, Josh. It's silly competitive. Don't know why there wasn't a caution though.
Yeah, it was one of those weird things where people weren't really sideways until they were on the apron, and it was just a cluster for sure. But man, talk us through that strategy that you and your teammates had. I mean, it looked like you said you wanted to be up front, and then we saw you fall to the back to run with those guys for a little bit. It looks like you saved a little bit of fuel to make it to the end, make it to your pit stop, and then you guys ended up nailing your pit stop, getting back out on the track, and put yourself in a chance to win.
Yeah, man, it was so exactly what you said in the interview after the stage was what happened. So when I went into the interview, we were going to stay out, and then they all decided to go in. So to your point, I couldn't really stay up there, and they were in the back, so I had to drop back a little bit to them. I got a couple more laps led, and then dropped it back. And then coming to pit under green was real interesting because people had slowed up. A couple had pitted the lap before, and we tried to get a run on the outside and could not clear them coming out of 4. So really had to hope everybody was out of gas and pitting at that lap and would merge and be cordial, and people for the most part were. So it was tight coming into pit road, but I'm sure the broadcast got a very, very good shot of all of us coming down under green, and it was pretty good. I don't know that anybody got any penalties or anything. And then I got onto pit road pretty safe. Fueled auto fuel, which again didn't allow me to really lead laps, but I was all right being in the control position in second, and then got a little mired coming to the end of the race, and really just got lucky with the crash there.
Yeah, I know. Personally, I love being in that second place on the bottom, kind of controlling the race myself. Plus, it allows you to save a little bit of fuel. But man, a great run for you here tonight. Getting the win, locking yourself in the playoffs. That always feels good. How do you like your chances next week at Bristol?
Bristol's always a crapshoot, man. We can run very long green flags there, but we usually never make it to like green flag pit stops without some sort of crashing, or it becomes a yellow fest. I don't particularly run too well there, but it'll be good that I got some points and I'll be up towards the top of it, so I can at least just try to stay safe. I'm a little upset that I got the 4X here at the end here, because I think a car that was sideways bumped into me. So outside of that, I got a lot of bonus points, lap led, obviously the stage stuff. So yeah, we'll see how it happens, Josh. Obviously, I target both of the super speedways in the season and in the playoffs. Hit them both in the trucks, which was cool. But everywhere else, it's a struggle, and things need to happen, obviously, for me to win them. So we'll see what happens.
For sure. Well, good luck tomorrow night. I know I'm personally in a must-win situation tomorrow night, so it's going to be a wild one, I think, for sure tomorrow. So good luck there. Congratulations on the win again here. And before you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give?
I want to thank you. Obviously, the whole broadcast situation is awesome, right? I know you've been doing it a long time for us, so thank you. And hope you have fun. I know you like calling the speedway stuff because you know a lot more inside of what's going on, and you can kind of see the runs developing, teams, stuff like that. Want to thank Eddie for Morris Customs and the paint job that's beautiful on here, almost as beautiful as the Intensity Apparel that's sold online, and that I have a couple of shirts of. And Dev's sports cards, obviously too, and all my teammates, right? Like everybody was in it. Joe, I think, was on the bubble, might have got knocked out from that wreck. So I outside of Dev already locked in, I was probably the least one that needed points. But sometimes that's the way it works out. So on to next week.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats. Unofficially, I've got Joe making it in. So
Nice.
unofficially, well, I'll just say it while you're in the booth here with me, because I know everybody's kind of looking at it. Unofficially, of course, I don't have bonus points for laps led. Points are up on Sim Racer. Oh, we do have the points up. So give me a second while I pull up the points officially and give you the breakdown here. I'm sure you're kind of excited to hear the standings as well.
Oh, tickled.
So, locked in, Devin Buccino and David Wright. Eddie Morris, third in points. Sharn Hill is going to be your fourth place driver next week. Riley Gomes back in fifth. David Hartney in sixth. Trey Spears in seventh. And Joseph Wright in the eighth spot. Ryan Gomes just barely misses out. Back in ninth, Ryan Likens 10th, and then Matt Allen and Chuck Balance were the top 12. So there you have it. Joe Wright does indeed advance to the next round right there, just by the skin of his teeth. So there you have it.
Full Neon Stable in the playoffs.
Neon Stable in the playoffs. Hey, there's 5 of you, and there's only 4 spots in that final round. So you guys are going to have some competition amongst each other, I'm sure.
Sounds like Joe's got his work cut out for him.
Again, Dave, congratulations on the win here tonight, and good luck tomorrow night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you, dude. Thanks, dude.
Have a great night. So there you have it. Those are... Whoop, wrong button there. Those are your points after tonight. Going to be a great one next week at Bristol, so don't forget to tune in right here on Intensity Broadcast. That's going to do us for here tonight. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to tune in here every other Sunday night for the Sim Wrap Market Nationwide Series here on Intensity Broadcasting. We have just a few more weeks left here in the SCSRA. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Don't forget to check out our great partners as well, including Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. You can check out our web store at intensityracing.com for hats, t-shirts, all sorts of racing swag. And if you're a team looking for some racing swag, get a quote today. And of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs. Check out thebuttkicker.com. And that's going to do it again. Congratulations to David Wright. We move on to Bristol for the round of 8. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over and out.